Hi everyone, it's Lulu! Back from the ashes, huh? I don't think I filmed all of June, like all of June. You know, people will kind of disappear for a while and they'll come back and say, my life has been crazy. I'm going to tell you how crazy my life has been in June. So, let's just relax, take some notes. I hope we had a very cool June, wet and cold. The grass is gorgeous. Last few days though, we're hitting the 90s and it's humid. And I'm sitting out here not happy at all. But yeah, I'd like to film outside. Okay, so where have I been? First weekend of June, I had a wedding. And maybe I did film. I probably should look, but I'm already filming and I didn't look. So I had a wedding in Plymouth, Michigan. One of the most spectacular weddings I have ever been to, ever. The venue, the chapel, I had no idea. It was gorgeous, and everything about the wedding was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. My son stood up. It's a friend of his from grammar school, and what was really funny is, and they've remained very close friends, his fiance, now wife, lives out. They live here in the Chicago area, but her family is all outside of Detroit. Detroit is farther east. And they met in dental school. Everybody who stood up, the bridal party, the entire bridal party, were all dentists, except my son. So he said, you know, like the rehearsal dinner was just a hoot because they're all dentists. And he's like, yeah. And I had a lovely time. I had a lovely time. He danced with me. It was just beautiful. The wedding, the band, oh. So that was that weekend. So I drove home on Sunday, and maybe I did film a video. I feel like I'm repeating myself. The following, so that was Sunday, okay, Monday. Tuesday, my mother moved in. My mom is 91, and so we had to, my sisters really did most of the work. Unload, you know, move, like literally had movers, moved her furniture here, her bedroom set and some other things, and then you've got to find a way to get rid of everything else. You know, furniture. So as you can imagine, that was a huge adjustment for the dogs, for me, for my mom. We expected it to be a huge adjustment. If you are you know what I'm about to say. If you're in my Facebook group, you've been following what has really been a delightful story. Not perfect, but delightful. So far delightful. But trust me, huge adjustments. And the biggest problem was the dogs. You know, the dogs, Banks is a very barky dog. He's just a barky dog. And my mom walks with a walker. They're not jumping on her, so that's good. But everybody is good. We're all friends. We've had some major hiccups, minor hiccups, but overall, this has been shockingly easy. And I know that there will be, I know there's going to be big hiccups, like hello, but it's a very good, you know, it's a very good, the house is a good setting for the situation, the whole thing, it just works out well. And we have a companion starting tomorrow because you know, I work at home, like I'm pretty much very busy, and I try to come out, you know, for lunch and breakfast if I can with my mom, but we're going to have a companion, you know, helping her with her daily getting dressed, making sure the meds are right, making her lunch, breakfast, you know, just whatever, taking her for a walk or just chatting with her, watching TV with her, etc. I'm sorry, I'm trying to see what Lucy's doing. So that was that week, and the following weekend I had a 70th birthday party, my husband's cousin. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail because I don't like talking about the cars we have. But I had a tire that was low on my car, and it has a slow leak, it has to get fixed. So I had no choice but to take my son's car. Nice car. And I have not driven it but I had no choice. So this is the first time I'm driving it. I'm like, oh my gosh. My father always said cars are cars, they can always be replaced, and it's true. So I'm driving along, and I'm on the highway, and I'm coming up an exit. And I'm probably doing 55 up this exit. And I can see ahead, but to me it looked like a patched pothole. It was big, but it looked patched. I mean, I hit it doing 55 or 60. I thought, oh my God, like, did I crack the axle? But the car kept going. I mean, so I'm just like, why me in this car? And within maybe a block or two, and I merged onto kind of a very fat, not a highway, but it's by the airport, so there's a lot of long, clear, 45, 50 mile per hour roads surrounding O'Hare. And all of a sudden, on his dashboard, tire malfunction. I'm just like, what does that mean? And I'm relatively close to the venue, and then the numbers start. I don't know what the numbers were, but they were like 32, 23, 16, and all of a sudden it was 0, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I didn't feel that, when you get a flat, you go boom, 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 boom. Why do I feel like I filmed this? Anyway, there was none of that. If I'm repeating myself, just skip on over. There wasn't that, but I slowed down, and I was very near Harry Carey, the big Cubs announcer, has a couple of restaurants, and I was very near. There's because it's O'Hare, there's a lot of hotels, it's multiplexes of hotels and restaurants. So I turn in to get to Harry Carey's, and I'm going very slowly, and I'm still not feeling that the thump. I get to Harry Carey's, the drive, and then they valet, whatever, and I barely got in there, and I just shut the car off, and I, went up to the valets. I said, I am stuck, I have a flat, I can't move the car. They're like, don't worry, that's fine. And I said, do you know if, so then as I stop the car, before I get out, I go into my purse. Okay, this is the worst part. I don't have my cell phone. So I asked one of the valets, could I use their phone? So they're like, well, maybe you can go inside. So I go to the host of Harry Carey's, and he is a charming young man. I explained the situation. The first thing I wanted to do was call the restaurant where the party was, because I didn't want somebody thinking I was like dead or that I blew them off. So I did that, and then I was like, okay, we need a repair service of some sort. And he said, they're connected to a hotel. I think it's oh geez, what hotel were they connected to? Holiday Inn, Embassy Suites, I don't know. They said, I think they have a service, I'm like, okay. So there was a very big Kids on the Block concert going on, and there's a big concert venue right there too, Allstate Arena. The place was crazy. I mean, I don't know, people fly in from everywhere to see this. I have no idea. It was crazy. So then I'm waiting in line, like I don't need to register. I just need to know if you have this service, and if not, so I finally get up there, explain my situation. She's like, we don't offer it, but we do know of a service, and I can call them, you can use my phone. So I use the phone, I call the guy, he answers, yes, he could be there, we only take cash on weekends, right, $125, I'm like, fine, whatever. And so he's going to be on his way. He asked me what kind of car it was, this and the other thing. I said, no, fine. So then, now I have to get a hold of my son. Oh my gosh, how am I going to tell him that I just blew your tire? I can't even imagine. So I'm back to the maitre d', the host, and I'm sorry, now I need to get a hold of my son. But I know my son is not going to pick up the phone, because he's not going to know that if he doesn't know the number, he won't pick it up. He's not picking up. So then I'm like, can I use your phone again to text him? Maybe he'll see the text that says, this is your mom, so he'll know, okay. And I have a flat tire, I'm safe, I'm getting it fixed, not a problem. This is the number you need to reach me at. I'm using someone's cell phone. I forgot my cell phone. Then somewhere in the middle of this, I also get a hold of my sister so that she could keep trying him, because he would know her number. He calls back the maitre d', host comes, gives me the phone. Oh my gosh. Host comes and gives me the phone, and he says, you don't need a repair. I didn't know this, but there's tires now that you can go for 50 miles distance as long as you do not exceed 50 miles per hour speed, which is more than enough to get me home. I'm like, oh, which is why I never felt that thump. I'm like, oh, okay, then I'll just drive home. He's like, no, it's really hard to drive. He's like, I'll take your car, I'll fill it with air, and okay. You know, I understand. This is like his baby. Like, I get it. So there I sit waiting. Like he really should have been here by now. So I'm like, okay. And then the host said, you know, the traffic is horrible with the concert. I'm like, okay. I'm waiting. You know, I have anxiety. I go into a panic attack because I'm sure he's dead on the side of the road, hit by a drunk driver. Who knows? A plane crashed into him. You know, if you have true panic attacks, you know, you cannot stop your mind. Like, you can't stop your mind. And so I'm trying to stay calm, and I'm asking the maitre d', and now I'm texting Andy, I'm calling him, there's no answer. That's it, he's dead. He was rushing to get here. He's been in some horrible accident. I'm calling my sister. I'm going to have her, like, I'm like, can we get the police looking? Like, have there been any reports of accidents? And I go into a full-blown panic attack. I am crying. I can't breathe. I'm in the lobby of the restaurant. People are standing around me. What can we do? And I am, and my poor sister on the other end of the phone has no idea what to do with me. She's like, he's not dead. He's just taking some time. I'll try to get a hold of him. And I am shaking. I can't breathe. My chest is killing me. I am like sobbing so hard. The tears are squirting out. Full blown. Because I'm sure he's dead. Because of me. Because I had a flat tire. And my sister calls me back, very shortly, very, very shortly. And she said he is going to be there in probably a minute. I was like, the panic attack, gone. Like, gone. And she's like, I can't even tell. It was like, then I was crying because I was so happy. You know, then I'm like crying because I'm so happy he's alive. So that was Saturday. And then I didn't film on Sunday because it was still like the first weekend after my mom moving in. My sisters are in and out with stuff. We're trying to get, you know, rearranging her bedroom. And it was not like stress like from work, but, you know, just tense. You know, your body is tense because you're just, you know, I want everything to be good. I don't want anything to go wrong. I'm expecting things to go wrong, but I just want my mother to be happy. You know, I just want her to be happy and settled. And I know at that age, holy cow, that's a huge daughter or not, whether she knows the house or not. I mean, so it was just tense. And by the time Sunday night came around, I was just like, and I couldn't. I was like, I'm going to sound like I'm a bumbling idiot. So then last weekend, I had surgery. Friday, I'm on a conference call. It's a standing conference call every Friday. It's an important one. It's a very important one. And we're about halfway through. It's the call goes from 11:30 to 12:30 Central. We're about halfway through, and my part was kind of done, but there's a lot of information, so you kind of need to hear everybody. And I couldn't even be polite. I was need to drop because I knew I was about to, I don't know what. I had been vomiting all morning. I had cold sweats. I was shaking. I was hot. I was cold. And I was so weak. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, lethargic maybe is foggy. So as soon as I hung up, I called my sister. Like, as soon as I hung up, I called my sister. And she got there immediately, took me to urgent care. They saw me immediately. My blood pressure, my chest was on fire. Like, it was on fire. She took me, the doctor saw me right away. They put an EKG on me right away, and they took my blood pressure, and it was like, every time they checked it, it was 220 over 150, 230 over 140, 233 over 157. It was ridiculous. But my EKG and my pulse, and they put that thing on your fingers, that oxygen, they all seemed to be good. And she starts doing like the stroke tests on me, you know, where you push up, push down your feet, you smile, She's like, we're calling 911. We need an ambulance to get you to the hospital right away. You're at urgent care, and they're calling 911 because we need to get you to the hospital right away. I'm looking at my sister. I'm like, okay, this is where the life insurance is. Ben knows this. Andrew knows this. Blah, 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 blah. She's like, you don't need to be telling me this. Everything is fine. I'm like, okay, but could you just put this in your phone where the important stuff is? So, I am now swarmed with 3 firemen and 3 paramedics. I have to say, they were like, I don't know how long they worked together. I have like a clock, and they were so funny. They kept me distracted, but I could hear this one saying, okay, blood pressure is still this, da da da, we need to check this, da da da, call ahead to the hospital, and this one's kind of this, and being funny with me, and I'm trying to give it back to them, but I was in such pain. But they all just knew their parts like this, and they asked it, could I said yes, I can walk onto the stretcher. So I'm like, I've never been in an ambulance in my life. Get me into the ambulance. They're putting an IV on me. Then they're still doing my blood pressure, and then he goes, we need to put a nitrile under your tongue. I'm like, I'm dying. Ben and Andy are going to be orphans. And then he hands me 4 baby aspirin. He's like, I need you to chew these. Like, you want me to chew aspirin? It's like, yes. I can't have water. No, you need to chew it now. Now. It's in my mouth. It's like chewing chalk. I am dry because I've been vomiting. You know, I'm like, I am dry, and I can't drink. I haven't been able to drink anything. And I'm chewing this, and he's talking me through everything. The other guy is talking him through, and then the firemen left. I was left with the paramedics. They got me to the hospital. I'm just like, first of all, an ambulance ride is horrendous. It is bumpy, and I was in pain. And you're lying down and looking out the window, but you're moving forward. So I kept trying to close my eyes, and he keeps trying to take my blood pressure, and it's just not getting any better. Get to ER, and I'm seen almost immediately by a doctor. And the doctor at urgent care, because I said, can't my sister take me? She's like, no, because you'll be in the waiting room like everyone else. You need to get into the ER and be seen. I mean, I'm telling you, my head was going to explode. You know, my sister's trying to be. I was seen right away, so I'm trying to tell the doctor, like, he's like, tell me everything. So I'm telling him everything, and then he started pressing on my stomach, and I was just like, well, bottom line, he's like, we need to get you into a CT scan. Let's see what's going on. I don't believe you're having a stroke or a heart attack. This is from pain and dehydration. So they very quickly, very probably within, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, get me into a CT scan. They put me into an ER room, and they said it's about an hour for the results, maybe a little less. But the doctor said, I have a feeling that the surgeon might be in here, and I have a feeling that you may be having gallbladder surgery. He said, just based on all of your symptoms, and he said, I have a feeling that you are going to have some stones taken out. I have no idea what my dog is eating. Give me a moment. Lucy? Anyway, sure enough, CAT scan results come back, and I am, as he put it, filled with stones, and there's a concern that one is in the bile duct, which is why the pain is so intense. So this is Friday, you're waiting for a room. I'm not even going to talk about the room fiasco. I was moved. Like, that's neither here nor there, but it was horrible. If you're in the Chicago area, I was at Alexian Brothers in Elk Grove, and you know how they have the old hospital still? Well, they put me in the old hospital, and I can't even tell you the hissy fit, the screaming. I actually called 911 from my room because it was so bad. Like, they moved me, and everything was wonderful into the new hospital. And I had surgery Saturday morning, and they released me Sunday night. I could have stayed one more night. I didn't want to, and the pain was okay, and I was on. They started on morphine. That didn't work. Then they went to Dilaudid in the IV, they were doing Zofran in the ID. Okay, Mom. And they were doing Zofran in the IV because I was the nausea, the pain was bad. It was and I mean, I was in the bucket. I was doing in the bucket, heaving bile. And then they added orally Norcol, hydroquinone, Norco, whatever, and the Dilaudid in the IV, and that really helped, like really helped. And when they added the Norco, I mean, the Dilaudid helped, but it didn't help long. Like I was getting it every 2 hours or something. None of what I'm saying is reliable because I was out of it. So liquid diet. So and Sunday I was able to have a regular diet, you know, and I started easy. Very easy. Went home Sunday night, and there was that weekend, and now it is this weekend. Mom is doing great. I am doing great. The dogs are doing great. I mean, like she won't admit it. She really likes them. And Banks is barky, but he's barky. And I think that he's gotten much better. And he and I have had a few stern talks about it. I think that's probably the worst. You know, noise bothers her like that. It's a sharp bark. There is my story. So I'm not talking about makeup. That's been June. And I'm very much looking forward to July. Get the day off on Thursday. That's always nice. It'll be hard to work on Friday. And then, hopefully I'll be back with whatever, but I think my life is somewhat... Oh, and last weekend when I had surgery, I had 2 parties. I had a bridal shower. I mean, like, I was so looking forward, because the bride, I know her, her friends, mom, you know, and all the neighbors from my other neighborhood, you know, I'm so sad that I missed that. And then on Sunday was my husband's oldest brother and his wife. They both turned 80 this year, and they are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. And I missed both of those. And I'm so sad because the flat tire thing was on my husband's side. It would just be nice to see everyone. And then my brother-in-law and sister-in-law would have been that side. And I'm just like, I can't win. And now I've got no more parties until I think the end of August or July of another, from the neighborhood, another bridal party, bridal shower. That's it. Really, I need to end this. I'll be back. Life is normal. I feel good. It's been a week. Still tender, still sore. Recovery was not, it hurt. I don't know. People say it's 1, 2, 3 because it's, no. It hurt. I am black and blue. Really black and blue. I go to the surgeon Tuesday. See what he says. But it was not easy. Rolling over in bed, I mean, I could hardly sleep. It was painful. Just anything. And if you needed to cough, and not that I cough a lot, but just you cough, you don't really think about it when you like have a cough during the day, except when you have burning fire every time you cough. Take care, stay cool. I have to go to Costco, I have to go to the grocery store. Kind of want to go to the nursery because I'm redoing landscaping on this side of the house. And that's it. Bye. Thanks for hanging in there.